So,
it's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's the longest toilet break in history.
so Mr. Amos,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
where you been?
University. Went off to Bournemouth, man. I wanted to sort of solidify and clarify reasons why I make certain musical decisions. That's the explanation I usually give.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Needed to make sure I get it right.
And did you find that at university?
I think the funny thing is at university, I think I found my path to it.
Okay.
I don't think I actually found it at uni. The closest I got to finding it was the closer I got to leaving uni. I think uni put me on the right track. It gave me factual information, of course, but it just can't. There's no substitute for what goes on passion-wise, and of course, coming from our musical background, the tutors weren't too familiar with the style of music that I was putting out. So if anybody had to do the most adapting at uni, it was me, because I was at uni with a load of rockers, and you know what I mean. And so I've started to find ways to incorporate that in the music that I put out. But it was a self-discovery journey.
Mm-hmm.
I found a lot out for myself and about myself, and I think I've come back a more in tuned person without sounding too philosophical.
So did you find working with people who weren't from the same musical background as you, and working with tutors who didn't understand your music, did you find that a barrier, or did you find something that actually enhanced your ability to perform well on the course?
Yeah, more the latter. I mean, it's never been a challenge. We had an advantage because we was always working with people who were from a totally different musical genre and background to us, and who always wanted, can I draw a bit of flavour from what you lot do? And well, if you're going to take something from us, we're going to take something from you as well, and we draw flavour. So in that sense, I would say I was in pole position at uni. Musical development, in the sense of where I was from a performance background. Again, I was sort of top of the class, but some of these guys, what they knew, information-based, fact-based, backed up with sheet music understanding and so on and so forth. But I mean, I was playing catch up the whole time. But what did I do? I sort of took a couple of steps backwards from where I was, and tried to sort of, all right, get some informed decision about why I do that. Why do you do that? That makes sense, because now is A minor seventh with a flat fifth. Okay, that makes sense. And then as I move forward again, just slow the pace down a bit, because I think what happened was, I mean, obviously from the R&B days we were just flying, and I just thought, well, okay, then in order to get back on another plane, I'd like to know what it feels like to just drive a little bit, and whilst driving, understand how an aeroplane works. So the next time I jump on it, I know why it's in the air, and I know why it's taking off. So in that sense, working with tutors who just have an understanding for music, it wasn't really too much of a factor that we weren't from the same musical background. Although every now and then, especially when it came to marking, certain chords, certain progressions that we'd use, certain, for instance, coming from a gospel background as well, just using ad-libs and things like that, they weren't, I mean, they knew what sounded right, but they weren't used to it, and some of them would say, oh, that's too much, and so on and so forth, but they didn't actually know when it was used to caress the track, or whether it was come to a pinnacle point in the track where you've got to show your most expression. But no, I gained a lot from it, so hold on to that.
So you graduated now. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Big boy graduate. You got a couple of initials after, you know.
Just a couple.
What have you done since?
Oh God. Learn to land. I think that's been my main target from I came up from uni, because the whole university thing was a life experience for me, and putting the education to one side, to come back to Birmingham and you see things with, I mean, it's almost like being in Bournemouth where I was able to wash my eyes, and I've come back and I've seen things and I'm like, yeah, no, just not happy with the state of, I mean, I was on a Michael Jackson vibe for a while. Like, I'm not happy with the state of the world, and I want to make the change. But you got to start from home, and I got to a stage where I really started to dislike being in Brooklyn. And that, for me, for such a patriotic person who loved coming from where I'm from, you know, it was the most difficult thing. So at the moment, I'm just literally trying to find my feet again, slowly back in the studio. 6 or 7 tunes in a week is not my style anymore. You know, one track, we'll work on it, we'll get it perfected, we'll make notes. It sounds ridiculous, we'll connotate, we'll come back, we'll do another version, we'll have a look at that, we'll say no, okay then cool, we'll take it to somewhere, we'll pull it back, we'll have another look, what can be added, what can be taken away, key point listeners, right? What can be taken away, complex simplicity, just always bear that in mind. Ben will tell you, he knows already. But for me now at the moment, I'm just one foot in front of the other slowly, but it's always music based. I'm doing a few youth projects here and there, managed to work my way in, throwing a music project in there. So there's a lot of bits and bobs going on, but needless to say, I'm not where I'd like to be just yet. But the road is long, but it's the right road. And of course, bumping back into the old Spa, a bit of company along the journey never killed anybody. You seem to get there a bit faster, innit?
Obviously you're well renowned for being part of a tiny duo. What's been the highlight for you of being part of that duo? What have you learned from it?
Oh God, what's been the highlight? Without getting all soppy and sentimental, first and foremost is you find a lifetime relationship with somebody that it can't be misinterpreted. It is what it is, and it always has been what it always has been. I mean, we were friends first, and I think all music did was give us a vehicle to express our friendship, regardless of anything else. You know what I mean? And that taking all the sentimental stuff out of the way and without getting soppy, it truly is the key thing for me is the fact that now there is an opportunity for us to get it cracking again, and there's also opportunity to have a break again and then get it cracking again, because we've built, our foundations are strong, very strong. The fundamentals were put in place early, and though we were flying, I think we had an advantage where we come from strong backgrounds, parent-wise and so on and so forth, where we were humbled enough to then make cautious decisions. There's certain things that we pulled out of performance-wise because we knew that's going to attract such and such a crowd, or we shouldn't do that. And there were certain things that we went in full steam ahead because you had to take risks. So being any member of any group, I think the first thing you should be able to take away from it is lifelong connection with somebody, to be able to speak, not necessarily just in musical terms, but just to be able to speak freely with somebody who understands where your mind is, simply because you share a passion for anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be football. I'd like to think that if I played for a squad and I had a good friend that played for the same team, our connection isn't just about football, and outside of that it stops. Like I said previously, it was just a vehicle that helped us to portray our friendship and also just put our talents on display. And that's the key thing, is just taking away the fact that I can sit here today and say, it has been a long toilet break, and that's it. More than anything, it hasn't been. And now we're reunited and get the fanfares out, because I feel as though it was only like a couple of days ago.
Okay. And in a couple of words, how would you sum up R&B, the group?
How would I sum up R&B in a couple of words? I'd simply have to just say Reisz and Ben. It's as simple as that. R&B as a name was more the title to our life story, and the fact that it was just the initials of our names, that is the story. It's how my life met with your life, and how we formed a life, and how we broke off from that life, and how we're getting back on that life. And so I would have to honestly say that, yeah, Reisz and Ben. That's how I describe R&B.